everybody's fighting the crowds in Colombo and Kandy, we've found a bit of a hidden gem here, only 20 minutes from the airport. It's Negombo. Lovely big stretch of beach, not a whole lot of people. Is this the best place to start your trip in Sri Lanka?
Along the beach section here, there are a number of different hotels. I think there's 3 different JetBlue hotels. We're staying in Jetwing Blue, and there's 2 or 3 other Jetwing hotels as well. On the way back, before the airport, we're staying in Jetwing Lagoon. But there are other quite nice hotels along here. Where we're staying is quite nice. There's a lot of staff. Very attentive staff looking after us. The rooms might be slightly tired compared to some other place we've been around the world, but the bed is very comfortable, it is very clean, and I can't see any problems with it. And well priced, definitely.
Yeah.
So well worth coming to.
There's other smaller family-owned places around as well. No, but so you could stay in a resort like we are at the moment, where there's a spa, there's restaurants, there's bars, there's pools. And that's around $160 to $180 a night. You could be more niche in a smaller family-run hotel for about $80, and then for less than that, you can certainly find other smaller, more backpackery type accommodations. So lots of different options in this particular town. It really is a great spot if you've landed and looking for a first stop in Sri Lanka. I think Negombo really ticks that box. This morning I started with a local breakfast. I had a hopper with some different kind of coconut sambal. So they cooked right in front of me. It's sort of like a flat flour pancake that's cooked in a round dish, and then you can have it with eggs in the middle, or you can have a plain one. I thought, first day I'll try a plain one. It was very tasty. All right. Thank you very much.
So then, after we had breakfast, Sanjeev came and picked us up at the hotel, and he took us for a drive just not far down the road to the fish market, traditional fish market that's been operating in that location for, what did you say, 200 or 300 years?
Yeah.
So that was pretty amazing, and it was certainly an old school fish market. All of the
fish was all laid out.
Just laid out, not a lot of ice around.
Not a lot of refrigeration either.
Yeah,
so.
Lovely odour, it smelled pretty good.
It was all very original, but
people,
it was good.
People were super friendly. Pretty amazing, I guess the variety of fish that they had. So the fishery around this island is better than I thought it might be. There was plenty of good prawns and nice fish.
Yeah,
so
there
that
was
was pretty
tuna and crab and all sorts of things, and we got to pick a fish for lunch, which was really great.
Yeah.
So Sanjeev put it in a cold pack for us, and then he took it off to a small hotel restaurant where we were able to have that cooked for us for lunch, which was pretty nice.
So after the fish market, we headed off to a small house on the edge of one of the Dutch canals, as Sanjeev called it, and we were taken down to a boat and we did a cruise of the lagoon, which was great. We cruised through the harbour part of it, where a lot of boats were moored and lined up, but there were a heck of a lot of boats that had been sunk and wrecked during the tsunami that are still laying where they were. So that was like a reminder of something that for us is probably out of our memories to a degree, but these people live with it every day. So there's a lot of wrecked boats, but a lot of other more traditional coloured boats like the one we're sitting on here. Cruised around the inlet, and then we got out on a sandbar and they set up a little table and chairs in the water for us.
And a whole lot of lovely fresh fruit.
Yeah.
So we had pineapple and watermelon and one of the coconuts. Now, what is that coconut's name? It has a special name.
King coconut.
King coconut, that's
Yeah,
right.
it's a good name for a band, I reckon. King coconut.
Could catch on. So they sliced the top of that and then we drank it, but then they opened up the coconut and sliced a piece off the outside of the skin that you use to scoop up the flesh inside. And it's not like a normal coconut that I've had before where the flesh is really quite hard.
No.
This was almost
Very thin too. There
almost
wasn't a lot of it.
gelatinous.
Yeah, if normally the coconut flesh that you eat is 7 or 8 mil thick, this would have been 4 a max, and you just sort of scrape that off, and it was as you said, like a jelly type thing.
Yeah,
it was pretty
very,
yum.
very
It was
tasty.
very good. So we got to do that. So
And then the food that wasn't eaten by us.
yes, we put all of the leftover fruit on the bow of the boat, and then we headed off very slowly along the mangroves until a friendly little group of brown monkeys
Came down to enjoy a
and
treat.
Jumped all over the bow of the boat and ate the fruit, and yeah, they were a bit freaky and a bit weird, but
And they
it was a bit
scampered
of good
off
fun.
again.
And then a little bit further down, we found a water monitor, a lizard,
yeah.
and we got nice and close to him. So our boat captain was fantastic. His eyes were pretty amazing to be able to spot that one, although something tells me that he may well have been sitting there every day, and that might be a
It
regular
might
one
be
for
his
his tourist
spot.
group. So that could be what's going on. So Judith was the person who cooked lunch for us, and that was pretty great. She was lovely, and she took us through the whole process of how they cook the fish traditionally, with some chili and salt and pepper
And lime.
some lovely garlic, fresh garlic that had been whisked. It looked more like cream than garlic. It was quite amazing. And then all of the other food that she had prepared. It was funny, there was a bowl that when we said, what's in that one, she said, that's not for you, that's not for you. And she said, no, it's too hot for us. So
I thought she was right.
I didn't think it was too hot, it was nice. The best part about all of the food that we had for lunch was you could taste all the individual spices. It wasn't just like a super hot curry or a super hot spicy meal. You could still taste the fish and all the different food,
Yeah,
the potatoes and the rice and the
Yes,
beans.
rice with saffron, there was okra, there was a really interesting mushroom.
Yeah, the mushroom salad thing, whatever it was pretty good.
Curry sort of thing. That was quite tasty and really unusual. I hadn't had that before. So we've had a whole lot of really tasty local food today. Here we are at St Mary's Church in Negombo. The Sri Lankans have a really interesting history of being colonised by different people. First came the Portuguese, then the Dutch, and lastly the British. So with the Portuguese came Christianity. So a lot of churches in this part of the world are actually Christian churches, even though 80% of the country is in fact a Buddhist country. But if you're in Negombo, it's worth popping by to have a look at some of the churches. This one's quite impressive inside. Well, we've just arrived at our second Jetwing Hotel. This one is Jetwing Lagoon, and it's located on a spit in Negombo. So on one side there's the beach, and on the other side there is the lagoon, and apparently also we have the largest pool in Sri Lanka here. And the room, as you can see, is really rather spacious. So Peter's already chilling. Good Wi-Fi. No, it's not good Wi-Fi. No internet connection. All right, well, hopefully that will change in a minute. And big bedroom area and an outside bathroom, it seems. So let's have a bit of a look. Here we go. Big bath. All open, so it's not going to get too cold in here, nor too steamy. So, big shower. just in case you need to sit down for a moment. And the joy of a toilet that sees all the way through to the front door. Okay, this is our last stop. So there are a number of Jetwing hotels located in Negombo. So if you're looking at staying in Negombo, you'll have plenty of choices. The Jetwing Blue Hotel is closer to a few more local restaurants and shops. This one seems to be a little bit more out of the town. So if you want to be close to shops and local food options, that might be the one for you.
Bit tired, but we've had a great day, experienced a lot of local culture, met a lot of people, had an amazing time. We will wander off, find some local fare for about $10 Australian by the looks of things on the street tonight, have a good night's sleep and get picked up by Sanjeev tomorrow for day 2 of our Sri Lankan expedition.
Yes.